Tonight, emails exclusively obtained by Fox News expose even more questionable behavior at the Clinton Foundation. Ed Henry is here tonight with a full report.
They violated virtually every agreement they've ever been a party to. I don't think they can be trusted.
Then Dick Cheney and his daughter Liz are sounding the alarm about the disastrous Iran nuclear deal. They join us tonight in studio to talk about that and their brand new book, And the Road to 2016.
We've heard Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. Well, cops' lives matter too.
Plus, a Texas sheriff calls out the Black Lives Matter activist after one of his deputies is murdered execution style. We'll check in with Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark is here with reaction. All of that plus Rudy Giuliani and more. Hannity starts right here, right now. And welcome to Hannity, and this is a Fox News alert. And by the way, Megyn Kelly's 5-year-old son can stay awake for this hour. Now, thousands of Hillary Clinton's emails from her time as Secretary of State were just released by the State Department. Now, the 7,000 pages of newly released emails were originally stored on Clinton's private server, 150 of those emails being censored by the State Department for containing information that it is now considering classified. Now considering. Here now with more is our own Ed Henry. Ed, this is not, seems like a late night document dump to me on a week that's heading into a holiday weekend. Thoughts?
Well, Sean, we pressed the State Department today, what is going on here? And they just said it's taking a lot of time to get through it. But you're right. They started out saying they would come out in the middle of the day. Then it was 6 p.m. Eastern, now 9 p.m. Eastern. It's obviously very late. But look, we're still going to go through it. The public is still going to have a chance between now and the beginning of the caucuses and primaries to evaluate whether there's anything here that they want to dig into. Bottom line is there is about 150 emails in this new document dump that contains classified information. That's on top of the 63 emails that Hillary Clinton had already, the State Department already said had classified information. She has consistently stuck to the line that, look, these emails were not marked classified at the time. But I want to show you real quick one of them, which is about Sudan. And it's back and forth among top U.S. officials about a trilateral meeting between top officials and Sudanese officials about the crisis there. And this is forwarded on to Hillary Clinton on the insecure server. And it's interesting because one of these pieces of paper I have right here, and it says, page denied. It's now been redacted, the entire page. It obviously had classified information. Why the secretary did not realize that in real time, with or without markings, will be one question. I pressed the State Department today on a very simple question that they dodged. Watch this.
Can you say from that podium categorically that Secretary Clinton followed the rules and the law?
I'm just not going to answer that question. It's not our goal. It's not our function in this regard in releasing these emails.
So they don't know whether rules and the law was followed. Then there are revelations from emails the State Department has not yet made public, such as an email obtained exclusively by Fox News tonight from conservative activist David Bossie. It shows an aide to former President Bill Clinton asked the State Department in August 2012 for permission for the Clinton Global Initiative to accept money from a company that had done business with Iran. Here's the email. Petronas, the government-owned Malaysian oil company, would like to send its CEO to CGI as a paying member. Bill Clinton's director of foreign policy was writing that in August of 2012. Quote, for years they were shipping oil to Iran. Would the CEO attending CGI as a paying member be of concern for the U.S. government, he said right there. The email was sent to Cheryl Mills, Hillary Clinton's chief of staff. She did not say yes or no on the money coming in from a company aligned with Iran. Instead, she replied on August 10, 2012, can you check the facts? Seems odd they would ship oil to Iran. Either way, is your point that they do business without a waiver? That's obviously a reference to a waiver from United Nations sanctions that had been ramped up over Iran's nuclear program. Remember, Hillary Clinton, as Secretary of State at the time, she was leading the fight to increase sanctions against Iran over its nuclear program. And yet here we are at the same time in 2012, and basically a representative for Bill Clinton is saying, can we accept money from a company that's been doing business with that rogue nation, Iran? Now, Clinton officials have stressed to me today that there's no evidence that the executive at this company ended up giving any money at all. And so they're saying that basically nothing came of this. But it's certainly odd that Bill Clinton's representatives thought that they might be able to accept this money. Remember, late last week, David Bossie also released some emails that he had gotten from one of his many lawsuits petitioning for this information from the State Department that pointed out that representatives from Bill Clinton wanted him to accept paid speeches from North Korea, entities tied to North Korea, and also the Democratic Republic of Congo. So there's all this information that's spilling out what the State Department is releasing, Sean, and then what they're not releasing, and we're digging up.
Ed, quick question. The RNC put out a memo tonight saying, number one, the State Department, and this goes back to the question that you were asking earlier today, and that is they won't say for sure that she sent classified foreign government information over her email. That's number one. They won't say if Clinton sent unmarked but still classified information over the email. They won't say if she was subject to the department's own Foreign Affairs Manual, which, remember, she sent out a memo that said, with her name on it, don't use private devices. And three, the State Department won't say if she followed federal laws and rules of handling classified information. So all this is coming out, and by my math, it's 213 classified emails so far.
Right, 63 plus about 150 tonight. There was a reporter from Reuters that asked a whole series of questions before I got that question and others in, and was going through the Foreign Service Manual and saying that you're supposed to handle classified information in this certain way. Did the secretary handle it properly? And they just wouldn't say. Look, in fairness to the officials there at the podium now, they're caught up in the middle of a big political fight that's going on. But this is beyond politics, obviously. There's an FBI investigation, a criminal investigation of what happened.
Yeah.
We should be able to expect that government officials are going to answer direct questions about whether the Secretary of State followed the rules, followed the law. One final point, Sean. The emails we're seeing tonight from the State Department, we can never forget the most important point of all. The emails we're seeing are the ones that Hillary Clinton turned over. What we're not seeing are, by her own account, about 30,000 emails she deleted. Those are not included in any of these document dumps.
33,000 to be accurate. And on top of that, the email about her new iPad was interesting as well. Ed Henry.
Yes.
Thanks so much for being with us. Here with the reaction, author of The Queen, The Epic Ambition of Hillary, and The Coming of a Second Clinton Era, nationally syndicated talk show host Hugh Hewitt. Also with U.S. Citizens United President David Bossie, Democratic strategist Jessica Tarlov is with us. All right, let's go to the Congo, North Korea, and Bill Clinton asking the State Department for permission to accept money from a company doing business with Iran. These are, does that show how greedy they are, that how connected maybe this might be to the foundation?
I'll tell you, Sean, I've been investigating the Clintons since the 90s, and when I read these emails, I was shocked. And I've seen them do a lot of things. And when I saw the tangled web that is really the Clinton machine, what they would be willing to do, Bill Clinton was willing to take money from the Congo and from North Korea, and he was going to hide it. And these emails state he will be able to put it in the foundation. And back then, several years ago, they were never going to tell people who donated.
Because is it that they believed from the beginning they'd never get to these emails on this private server, which is why it was set up in the first place?
And that's exactly right. And let me just say, I believe, I don't know this, but I believe that's one of the reasons why it was wiped. They didn't want these types of emails to come out. I don't know about the secure nature of it, and those elements we're going to find out with the FBI investigation. But these are the types of things that are incredibly embarrassing.
All right, let me go to you, Jessica. Doug Schoen, a good mutual friend, says the campaign of Hillary Clinton's in a death spiral. Agree?
Yeah, I'm not as stringent on that as Doug, who I respect obviously greatly and enjoy spending time with as you do. But I don't think it's a death spiral. You look at the general election polling right now.
263 classified emails on a server that she said had no. Her original statement was that I have neither sent nor received anything classified.
I understand, and there is no doubt that there are mistakes on every level here. She should have never had a private server. She should have never said she had one device.
A mistake or a law broken? Because the law says you cannot.
Yes, I understand the law says that, but there are. Michael Mukasey gave an interview.
We're going to play him in the next segment.
Where he said, knowing what he knows today, that he wouldn't bring charges. David Ignatius wrote a piece in the Washington Post saying that he spoke to a number of national security officials.
What we're seeing here is the unraveling of the Clinton machine. Breitbart just broke a story this evening that is that they shared the same server, the foundation, Hillary Clinton.
I have it right here. They shared an email network with the Clinton Foundation.
That's a tremendous story, and we need to figure that out and drill down into that story. So this is a death by 1,000 cuts.
I agree with you, and I think it's going to keep coming because they keep releasing it in bits and dribs and drabs. Hugh Hewitt, your thoughts. Do you get to the legal point? Now it's a criminal investigation. We're told it's the FBI A team that's investigating this. How much legal jeopardy is she facing beside the political fallout?
Enormous legal jeopardy, Sean. Not only are those 33,000 emails unaccounted for, that system was not secure. And Rudy Giuliani will tell you, I was at the Department of Justice at the same time that Rudy was the Associate Attorney General. I had SCI, Sensitive Compartmented Information Clearance. The fact that they mishandled and negligently dealt with this information, which was obviously classified, that Ed Henry report on the Sudanese exchange, that is obviously classified. They obviously knew or ought to have known that what they were dealing with was not being dealt with in accordance with 18 U.S.C. 1924. They have an extraordinary liability here, and it is a sinkhole that continues to expand because we know one other thing. It was confirmed to me by Mike Morrell, who was the former deputy director of the CIA, by another senior undercover intelligence official, and I'll bet the vice president will confirm to you as well. It is beyond certainty that foreign intelligence agencies hostile to the United States knew she maintained that server and accessed everything on that server. By definition, all of the email traffic of the Secretary of State of the United States is high-value intelligence. She put her own political interest and the financial interest of her family ahead of this country.
All right, thank you all for being with us. When we come back, Dick Cheney and his daughter Liz, they'll talk about the Clinton scandal and much, much more. And also tonight, we'll get reaction from former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, and still to come tonight.
Pigs in a blanket! Fire like bacon! Pigs in a blanket! Fire like bacon! Pigs in a blanket! Fire like bacon!
Black Lives Matters protesters, they call for more violence against police officers. We'll check in with Sheriff David Clark and much more straight ahead.